Hey everybody, Casey Ferris here. I make videos on DaVinci Resolve here on YouTube, and today we're talking about this baby, the speed editor. If you don't know what this is a little control surface for DaVinci Resolve that's made for editing in the cut page. And it's like a little cute little keyboard. And it has all the buttons that are perfect for editing. I wanted to do a practical review on this to show you how it might work with a really basic project, and then you can decide if it's worth it for you. Ooh, boxy. All right, it's faster than a mouse and keyboard. We'll see about that. Keys positioned for fast editing. This is basically like the keyboard, the Resolve keyboard, which I've used quite a bit, but kind of smushed together. The both sides just kind of smushed together. I'm about that life. Let's unbox it. Ooh, squishies. It's like the exact keyboard, but you just cut the middle out. Erase the middle, squish it. They just made an edit on the edit keyboard. Look at the little space bar. Oh, it's cute. Welcome. Software installer. Oh, but look at this. Oh, look at these nice. Oh, see? Download Resolve for free. And then we have the USB-C cable, which is unfortunate because I don't have a USB-C port. So I have to get an adapter thing or use a different cable. But I can imagine how that'd be really nice if I had like a Mac, but I don't. Let's take a look at this thing, shall we? This wheel feels a lot like it does on the editor keyboard. The buttons feel solid. The whole thing feels really solid. It's heavy, man. You know how sometimes you get a piece of equipment and it just feels, plasticky and cheap? And man, this is like the opposite of that. This thing's like a tank. Ooh, look at this. That's so cute. Look at him. Look at him just trying his best. Let's get this thing hooked up, shall we? All right, so here I am in Resolve 17, and I have the DaVinci Resolve Speed Editor, and we're gonna try and just do a normal vlog edit using the cut page and the speed editor. I do quite a bit of vlog content when it comes to stuff that isn't tutorials, so this is where I have a lot of experience. And so I figured just to give a good review of this, we could actually try and cut something with it. So first thing I'll do is I'll hit source, and that will bring up my source tape here in the cut page. And right now I have it in jog mode, which can just go back and forth here in my video. But if I go to scroll, I can scroll back and forth a lot faster through all of my footage. And we can kind of start at the very beginning. I'll go back to jog. And I can use shuttle. I don't really like the shuttle thing very much because it's really hard to tell, like, I don't know. It's really hard for me to control this. Like, I can't tell if it's playing forward or backward or fast or slow or anything. It just seems really difficult. I know the keyboard actually has a clutch in it that it's a lot easier to tell kind of how fast things are playing. So I usually just leave this on the jog. And so we can move back and forth through our video, and this feels really, really nice. It feels really solid. And it feels like you're really like connecting, like controlling your video with it. And so this combined with the stop and play, it's really nice that they have this cute little space bar here.
Daddy, it's Happy Thanksgiving!
Okay, so I want to start with that Thanksgiving line. And I'll hit an in.
Daddy, it's Happy Thanksgiving! Oh, nice!
Show me a great big bite.
Do it, Chase, do it.
There you go, nice. And I'll hit O for out. And now we have our first piece of footage selected. Pretty much how I do a vlog in general is I take sections from each piece of footage that I want to use and I just throw them into the timeline. So this is a really great way to use the cut page and the speed editor, is I can just grab a piece like this and then hit append right here and throw it into the timeline. And now I don't have to do anything else. It's already in the timeline. I don't have to move my mouse or anything. I can just move through here. I don't know about this. And I'm just visually kind of going through, trying to look for something that is interesting. So there's Upside Down Baby, that looks good. What's up, buddy? You need some attention? Great, I'll hit out and append. And we'll just keep going through here. We'll pick a couple more shots. We don't need to make a whole edit for this little demo, but you can get the idea. So we have talking. My kids are hams. There's little baby. Oh, that's cute. Okay, and I'll hit out and hit append. And I'm just throwing these into the timeline one after another.
It's about true.
Okay, that's great for an end. Let's go back here. Chase, tell me, what's Thanksgiving about? Great, right there. But now I want to put this before the footage that I just put in, so I'll just switch over to the timeline, and I can move back here to place my playhead kind of in between this second to last clip and this last clip. It doesn't even have to be right on it, just somewhere in there. And now I can smart insert this. If I go back to source, there's our clip. I'll hit smart insert, and it'll put that there in between my two clips here in my timeline. Chase, tell me, what's Thanksgiving about?
It's about people and loving people, and eating a big feast,
and eating a big feast. Okay, so now we have that line, and I can again smart insert. But now I put this before the question. And what's really cool is that if I hold this, I can actually select my clip and I can move it with this scroll wheel. That, I think, is next level. That's something that, like, after using the keyboard a little bit, I realized would be super neat, because this is a nice, just big interface. To be able to change things with this big dial by holding, like, these quick keys, I think is so great. Chase, tell me, what's Thanksgiving about?
it's about people and loving people.
So that works pretty well. And then, of course, if I want to trim something, same thing. I can hold the button, like, for trim in, and I can move things with my wheel. Hold trim out and trim that side and kind of just really make this edit a lot tighter. Chase, tell me, what's Thanksgiving about?
It's about people and loving people.
And what I think is really cool is I can even adjust the gain of the clip by holding down audio level, and I can boost up my audio. I think that's such a good touch. So this is the kind of stuff that I wasn't really sure if the speed editor would be like a lot better than the keyboard. I was kind of worried that I'd get this and I wouldn't like it as much as the keyboard, but I actually like it a lot better just because it feels like a lot of these buttons and stuff are really well thought out. And it has a lot of the main things that you'd want, like split, right? Where you don't normally have just one key on the keyboard to make a split. They made that here. It's really nice to be able to go in between the source and the timeline. Makes it really quick to be able to just select different clips and throw them into your timeline. This is especially fast for making a rough edit. And I gotta say, I got this a little while ago and I went a couple days without it and I really, really missed it. This stuff is kind of the extra, but this jog wheel is really, really helpful because I find myself wanting to do things like adjust and edit like this, and I'd have to grab the mouse each time, which, you know, isn't that terrible. But it's just really nice to be able to grab things and move them around without having to go to the mouse. You can just kind of keep your hands right where they are.
Eating a big feast.
And I find myself being able to kind of feel around the keyboard because of, you know, there's 6 buttons here, there's 8 buttons here. They're all kind of different shapes and different positions. And so you can really kind of get used to it and feel where the buttons are. And you don't really even have to look away from the screen. Nice mullet, Bryce. Show him your righteous mullet. Show him your righteous mullet. Nice job. You're growing it well. All right. So this is something that even just starting this really basic thing, like I know there's a lot of stuff with the multicam, which I think is really awesome. But honestly, I wanted to kind of do a review that isn't just showing all of the features that you can use, because you can always use features, right? You can always think of a way to use them, but when it comes to practicality, it's like if you're not doing multicam most of the time, if you're not working with like synced media most of the time, if you're just doing like a really basic edit, even then, I feel like this is super rad. Job. You're growing it well. Even doing stuff like splitting the clips, split and delete, you can kind of really trim things. Your righteous mullet. Nice. And just kind of the added things of being able to adjust the audio level with this big thing. Like in the future, I would love to be able to just control a ton of stuff with this wheel. Man, it'd be great if they came up with maybe different keycaps or hold 2 of these buttons or something to be able to control different things with this wheel. Show him your righteous mullet. Nice. But the biggest features with this that I would say is that it's insanely fast to work in the cut page. In fact, I'd say the cut page makes a whole lot less sense if you're not using the speed editor or the keyboard. This is really where this page starts to shine, because it's so easy to be able to just run through some of your footage, make a selection, and keep going and just build your rough cut just by looking at the footage and not really worrying about, you know, grabbing stuff with the mouse or putting things in the timeline. You're just grabbing the good parts, throwing them into the timeline, and you can really move really, really fast. So this is something that, you know, if you're cutting something that doesn't have like a ton of complicated audio, is something like a vlog, maybe something that's kind of a bunch of clips kind of butted together, you can really do things pretty fast.
Daddy, it's Happy Thanksgiving! Oh, the bees.
And there's a ton of other different like features and things that you can use this for, but man, for $300 and you get the studio version of Resolve, this is like just a no-brainer. Just a no-brainer. So there you go. I like it. I think I'm going to use this quite a bit. A lot of the buttons here are for multicam, which we didn't really cover in this video, but I know there are quite a few other videos covering that. But I would say even if you are not somebody who does a lot of multicam, you're just doing really basic edits, this is definitely worth it. It's portable, it's well made, and it's definitely a lot of fun to edit with. It's fun to play with too. Here's more videos on DaVinci Resolve 17. Oh boy. Woo! Look at it go.